Good evening to all teachers who are joining the Gurushala session. We all welcome you to today's Teacher Spotlight. The idea of this Spotlight series is that we are connected with a group of expert teachers from all across India, and especially today we are connected with teachers of Nagaland who will enlighten us with different topics and dynamics of their own classroom. हम साथ में इन विषयों पे बात कर पाएंगे और इन चीजों पे डिस्कस कर पाएंगे कि कैसे क्लासरूम को और बेहतर किया जा सकता है. So in today's Gurushala's Teacher Spotlight, we are connected with two teachers who are joining us from Nagaland. One is Moyangla ma'am and other is Nuksan sir. So before going ahead, I would request both the teachers, starting with Moyangla ma'am, to give a brief introduction about yourself to our audience.
Hi.
Hi ma'am.
I'm Moyana from JB's Ongbang, under Mogokchung district from Nagaland.
Okay ma'am. Okay ma'am, which subject do you teach?
Our maths and English.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Nungsan sir, would you like to give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Okay, me, Indi Nungsang Langamer, and I'm from GBS in Nasunda, Mokuchung, Nagaland.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, which subject do you teach?
EVS.
Okay. So, going ahead, we will also would want to inform all the teachers that two to three other teachers will be joining us for the session soon. They are connecting with us, and once they join for this teacher spotlight, we will be adding them and we'll be discussing these topics itself. Today's topic for the discussion is designing question papers for middle school students. So, जो class 6 से 8 के बच्चे हैं, the students of class 6 to 8, how to design question papers for them? What are the important aspects that we need to keep in mind? ऐसे क्या चीजें हैं जिनका हमें विशेष रूप से ध्यान रखना है जब हम छठी से 8वीं के बच्चों के लिए क्वेश्चन पेपर बनाते हैं. So before going ahead, we would like to start with Nungsan sir. Sir, for EVS subject, what are the elements that you keep in mind while you're creating the question paper for a class 6 student?
Okay, ma'am, the question should be clear. And then next,
Right.
And next, it should be according to the cognitive ability of the student.
Right. So, sir, while we are creating for students from class 6 to 8, the question should be clear, very important. And the content matter and whatever we are referring, it should also be understood by the student. Is there anything else you would say the question paper needs to have?
The objective and scope of the examination should be kept in mind while sitting so to achieve it.
Right. So the objective and the scope for the question paper should also be kept in mind. Before going ahead, we've also been joined by Sukhjim ma'am. Ma'am, if you could just give a brief introduction before carrying forward the conversation.
Okay. I am a graduate teacher at GMS Ardang, Mokshong.
Hi ma'am, which subject do you teach?
I mostly teach grammar.
Okay, English grammar, right?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, we were just asking Nungsan sir itself is what are the important elements that needs to be kept in mind while creating a paper? He covered the elements that, the question should be very clear, it should be concise, and the objective and scope as to, which class you are catering to has to be kept in mind. Do you want to add something here specifically for an English subject?
Teaching in a government school to, most of our students are helpers. in our scene, house helpers, and the I think the syllabus in Nagaland is made in such a way that grammar is taken up only from class 5.
Okay.
So most students find it very difficult to follow the English grammar, to get you know understand. So what I usually do while drafting a question paper is I think it's better that we put ourselves in their shoes first, and then draft what kind of a question we should set for them. Uh, Keeping in mind the capabilities of the students. While drafting a question paper is very important to study the capabilities of the students. The objective, of course, is very important. Are we trying to test the intelligence of the students, or are we trying to test how much the students have understood? So these are the things we should keep in mind while drafting a question paper, I think.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are also connected here with two other teachers. I will add them to the call. One is Kenley, ma'am. So, Kenley, ma'am, could you please introduce yourself before we carry forward this discussion?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. A very good evening to my respected panel, team members, and my esteemed members, teachers of Nagaland. My name is Kenile Shokri, and I am a postgraduate teacher zoology from GHSS Junsang. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. So, ma'am, we were having a discussion with other teachers itself, talking about what are the important elements that needs to be kept in mind while creating the question paper. So, if I had to take your first thoughts, like initial
Mhm.
thoughts as to what do you keep in mind while you're creating a question paper for students?
Yes, ma'am. Um, I would like to express one of my observations, or so to say, concern regarding the question paper trend that has been followed for decades. No doubt, we know that, especially being a science teacher, we know that facts are sacrosanct, and we have to present the fact as it is and not distort the facts by mixing our views and opinions. However, I strongly believe that we can set questions where there is no right or wrong answers. That is, where we can have unconventional questioning like have in my school. And here we can allow our learners to express their observations. That is just a basic example. For example, there are two students in the classroom, one which got transferred to this new school, new town from a city. And that student, having been born and brought up in the city, he will be aware of various issues that people face in city life. Now, for example, if I tell them to write something on pollution, that boy that got transferred from city might be well aware of noise pollution, and he might choose to write about noise pollution. However, if I have another learner in the same class who was born and brought up from a village, he might go for farming practices where organic farming and inorganic farming comparisons might be drawn. So, in that sense, there is no right or wrong answer, because both of them are expressing their observations and knowledge. So, my point is, instead of encouraging rote memorization, because not every children is gifted with good memory skills, uh, we have been so rigid in our system of setting questions that we do not get to the chance to test the local learning of the child. That is, we miss out on catering to the local needs of the child, and we are often focused on extracting the bookish information. So while drafting questions, I think we have to I take into consideration the fact that whether the question is connecting with the local environment and with the local learning need of the children so that they are not very mechanical in their approach, and they do not get demotivated, and they can develop their creative as well as critical thinking skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We have also another teacher who has joined us. Uno ma'am has joined us. Thank you so much, Uno ma'am, for joining us. Uno ma'am, before going ahead, would you like to give a brief introduction about yourself? Which school do you teach in and which subject?
Okay, thank you. My name is Uno K. Dolie, and I teach in Government Higher Secondary School, Medzipema, under Dimapur District. Yes. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. Which subject do you teach?
Actually, I teach a science and environmental studies.
Okay, okay, great to know. Ma'am, so while the discussion was going on, we were discussing with other teacher that what are the important elements that you need to keep in mind while you're drafting a question paper. To create a question paper for student for your subject, for mathematics and EVS, what is the first thing that you think of?
The first thing that I keep in mind while studying a question paper is that they apply their knowledge, whatever that they learn in class, that they write in the paper whatever they learned, and not by memorization. And also the questions, the topics that they can apply in their lives, which are relevant to their day-to-day lives too.
Right. Now that Mohigla ma'am is also joined, I would want to know from you in your subject, uh, how do you ensure that the questions that are created or that are prepared by you, all students will be able to participate in those questions? Like, at least students can attempt to answer. So, what is your take on that, ma'am?
Actually, before setting the question paper, I make it a point that they learn whatever they learned that in class. They also experience it outside, particularly in environmental studies. Whatever they learn in class, they are exposed to the outside environment so that they can also learn more about the topic that they are going to appear in the exams.
Right, right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to take this question towards Mohangla ma'am. Ma'am, if you could share in terms of what do you prioritize when you create papers for your subject? How do you ensure that all the questions, at least most of the questions, students are able to at least attempt to answer?
Yes, while drafting questions, Weber, break out all the important points in each chapters. Marks are distributed equally for all the chapter.
Okay. Okay. So now I'll take my question to Nungsan sir. Nungsan sir, is there a understanding to the fact that question papers for EVS or mathematics is made a little different than question papers for language subjects? What is your answer for that? Can you unmute and answer, sir? Yes, sir. So what do you think on that? Hmm. I hope you're able to hear us, sir. Are you able to hear us? Okay. Yeah. We can't hear you, sir. So I'll take this question forward to another teacher while you try to check your internet connection. Sangjim ma'am, if I could just ask you, since you are an English grammar teacher, do you think that designing question papers for maths and science application-based subjects is a little different than language subjects?
Designing a question may vary from subject to subject. But I think there are certain objectives, similar objectives to be kept in mind while setting any kind of question. That's what I feel.
Right, right. Uh, so, in terms of classes, also, I want to know from our fellow expert panels as well. Uh, do you think, on the basis of how the classes go, higher the classes go, does the question paper or the pattern of question paper differ? Start from Sunjim ma'am, and then we'll go forward to the other members of the panel. What do you think, Sunjim ma'am?
Can you please repeat the question again?
Yes. So the question was that according to class, so if a student is
Uh-huh.
going from class 6 to 7th, 7 to
Yes.
8, yeah, does the pattern of questions also change or evolve according to the classes? What is your answer on that?
Uh, yeah, I feel that at least we should, increase the level of, toughness of the question as they go to higher classes, so that we sharpen their intelligence, we sharpen their understanding, and we also take a step ahead to test their understanding. So I feel that as they go to higher classes, their syllabus also changes, the volume of their syllabus. So I think obviously the question pattern also needs to be
To be
change.
changed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Kenly, ma'am, we want to know from you is, what do you think that if a paper is created for annual exam, do you think all the concepts should be covered, or there should be a selective covering of concepts? Like everything from book should be covered for annual exams, or only selective concepts should be covered? What is your take on that, Kenly, ma'am? Mm. Ma'am, your mic is muted. Can you unmute and then answer?
Okay. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, ma'am, we can hear you. You can
Okay.
carry on.
Uh, yes, ma'am. Regarding, okay. Regarding the question paper that will be set at the end of the academic year, I do not think it is possible that the entire content can come out in that one question paper. So, since continuous assessment already takes place in the schools, I believe that we can just do summative assessment where we can select the contents that they have that is expected of their standard. For example, if it is a class 6 student, at the end, what is expected, the learning that is expected from a class 6 student and is expected of the class 7 student. Accordingly, we have to set the question. So because continuous assessment takes place, I don't think it is literally possible to set the entire contents based question paper. Thank you.
Right, right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I'd like to ask this question from you as well. As you know, now the examinations are coming and they're approaching. And
Yes.
this year,
Mhm.
students could not be that much in the classes. We were connected with them virtually. So now that you'll be creating
Yes. Yes.
papers for them, maybe in March or April, how are you going to identify which
Mhm.
topics, you will address to, or questions will be created to? uh, what is your approach while you're creating paper, especially for this year, because this year has a lot of changes and
Mhm.
everything? So ma'am, would you like to
Yes.
share
Yes.
your
Yes.
ideas on the same?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Like we all know, post COVID-19 life has posed a challenge, just not just for the learners as but it's also for the teachers as well. So the uncertain times that lies ahead, and given the volatile condition that is still ahead of us and the ambiguous situation that surrounds us, the questions that I plan to
Right. I think we've lost Kenly ma'am's connection, so I'll ask this question to ma'am. Ma'am, you're able to hear me? Yeah, yeah. If you could unmute your mic and then answer the question I want to, take forward with you is, do you think that, this year, since it has been a little unpredictable, so the question paper that you will be creating for the final exams would be actually a bit more different than how you used to create papers earlier? If so, what are the things that you will keep in mind? Do you, will omit some topics or some subjects, or will you consider some topics or subjects while creating the paper?
Actually, due to COVID-19, as we all know, all the topics could not be covered like before. Therefore, the question papers were set, uh, keeping in mind that all the chapters be covered, but some chapters, of course, had to be omitted because of the limited time which we could use to inform the students about their course content. But the last year's question paper, as it was set, I think that was also not very bad, but I think it can be improved upon.
Okay, okay. I wanted to ask you one more question, ma'am, subsequent question. Usually in schools, at least when I was studying, there were regular unit tests that were happening. Like every month end, there would be a small test that will happen, or some assignment. Uh, this year, since you were connected virtually with your students, what was the approach that you took for such a scenario?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question once?
Sure,
It's
ma'am,
not
sure.
very obvious. Okay.
Okay, so what I was trying to ask is that we have regular unit test or monthly test that usually happens, when we are studying in the school. But since this year we were connected with teachers virtually, we weren't going to classrooms. So how did you implement these monthly tests? Did you choose to omit it, or did you come up with any other alternative so that you can still judge if the student is studying at home or not?
Actually, since we could not conduct monthly tests, we gave some assignments to WhatsApp or yes, and then this WhatsApp they would submit it to the concerned teacher, and assignments which could not be viewed by the classmates, but which could be viewed only by the teachers. So in this way, we could assess some of them, and then sometimes we would ask them to submit the hard copy, but not all of them together in one go, but by batch wise, given specific days, and then some of them will be asked to submit the hard copy of their assignments given. In that way, we could assess some of them, although not much.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Now I'll go to Mungsan sir. Uh, sir, we wanted to know from you that how have you conducted? Oh, sir has dropped out. So last, I'll take this question forward to Sungjim ma'am. Ma'am, if we could know from you that how have you and tackled with this problem, where firstly you could be connect with students and could have taken tests weekly or monthly or however you wanted to plan. So for English subject, how did you come up with an alternative for these monthly test or any assignment you were taking with students?
Uh, as for our school, we used to prepare worksheet for 1 week and give it to the students, and they are given 1 week time to answer or to finish the worksheet and submit uh, in a given time. So it depends on the topic. So if it is a vast topic, then we would divide the exercises, and
Right.
each day an exercise was assigned to them to work out by themselves. And at the same time, we made it a point to keep in contact with the students through WhatsApp and through phone calls. so that they can ask whatever doubt they have, they can verify from us.
Right.
So that's
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Kinley, ma'am, I want to know from you that you did mention that, with evolving time, we have started putting more application questions rather than memory based questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that over the period of time, the way the question paper is designed has also changed? And do we make sure that every student's learning ability is met in the paper so that they can answer it? What do you think on that?
Uh, Yes, ma'am. I believe that almost all the teachers of Nagaland during these regular classroom assessments, they have evolved various questioning methods to suit the need as well as the capabilities of their individual learners. However, at the end, like usually for major board exams like class 8, 10, and 12, where a common question pattern is set for the entire students from different parts of Nagaland, they have to answer one set of question paper. So I believe the evolution has not taken place much. Rather, more pressure has been built on the learners for increasing their memory skills and rote memorization because the quantity keeps on increasing as per the standards of their class. So I think the question papers being evolved to suit the need of the learners hasn't taken place much, given the fact that there at the end there's one set of question paper which the entire students from all the parts of the state have to answer. So it is not evolving in that sense, because it's not catering the according to the local needs of the learners,
Right.
and
Thank
there
you so
is
much,
room
ma'am.
for improvisation still.
That is certainly there. There is room
Thank
for
you.
improvising the paper going ahead. Now I'll take forward my questions to Moyangla, ma'am. I want to know from you, ma'am, that, do you think that bookish knowledge is very important and is factored in while creating a question paper? Do sometimes students who can't memorize well fall down in the system of examination that we have, because there is a lot of content that they need to remember? What do you think on this? Does this happen often, or is this challenge that you were able to overcome?
Often. Often?
Yes, ma'am.
Often?
I couldn't hear you. Were you able to understand the question, ma'am?
Please repeat the question once.
Okay, sure, ma'am. So basically, what I was trying to know from you is that, is it a challenge for you that a lot of questions are drawn from books? And that is the reason a lot of students need to follow the memory technique where they have to know the bookish knowledge, and to have to repeat, what we say, repeat and understand the concepts rather than learning the concepts. Is this a challenge that you face while you're creating the question paper?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I'll ask the same question to ma'am also. Ma'am, I hope you can hear us. Um, do you feel, that question papers are made such that students who can memorize very well often score the highest, and students who do not have a strong memory power, they score the lowest? Is that a challenge that you face in your classroom?
What is that?
We can hear you.
Okay, while we teach in the classroom, we keep in mind with the objective that the students, we encourage them to learn the concept and not go for rote memorization. But the question paper, as it is said, looks more like that they are encouraged to memorize the lesson rather than understand it. So the question paper that is being set as of now till date is more towards rote memorization than understanding, I believe.
Okay, fair enough. So there is some sort of an understanding that, because it is about, a bit more about implementing the knowledge that we have. It does go a lean towards at least bookish knowledge, but over the period of time, I think
Yes,
we will
bookish
also be
knowledge.
able to evolve. Yes, ma'am, you wanted to add something?
So, like you said, the students who can memorize better score more than the others, although the others also understand the concept. Maybe some of them may be understanding it more than the others who have scored well. So, like you said, those with better memory power, rote memorization power scores better than the peers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll then now have a final round of questions. So, my last question to you, Sunjay ma'am, is while dealing with students at such a you know trivial age, because they're also becoming young adults, do you find it difficult for them to take the whole process of studying throughout the year and then performing well for the examinations difficult? Or do you think it's not a challenge that you often face in your classroom?
Uh, Comparing to the days when I was a student, um, I feel that load, the load of study is much more lighter right now. I don't think that the students feel much pressure, that pressure to study, um, because the educational system is set or is made in such a way that students are uh, made to learn um, the content, I mean selected content at one point of time. So I don't think that they feel the pressure of studying too much or things like that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Kenny, ma'am, I have a question for you with regards to, students
Yes,
who
ma'am.
have
Yes.
difficulty, who do not have concept clarity. So, for example,
Mm.
in your formative years, due to some challenges, it can be probably that the student has,
Mm-hmm.
learning difficulties or his concepts were
Mm-hmm.
not clear. Do you think it impacts the coming years? And if it does impact, how does can a teacher deal with it? Like, how can the
Mm-hmm.
teacher make his or her teaching pedagogy a bit more comfortable so that such a student can easily navigate through the class? Like, what is your opinion or take on that?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. Well, I believe we teachers, we have, even in our various training programs, we are often encouraged to be flexible educators, flexible teachers. So, if we have a holistic approach and flexible approach, as well as a well rounded approach, where we can motivate our learners to connect their learning with their daily life activities, then in that case the students will not feel overburdened, overboard. The I have this privilege of coming in contact with very academically uh, very well performing students as well as dropouts. Now, without making them conscious that I'm making a mental note of the informations that I'm extracting from them, whenever I interact with them, especially the dropouts, what I have come to the realization is that often they cannot connect the classroom teaching learning process with their daily life activities. So this is a wake this that realization was a wake up call for me, and over the years I've tried to improvise my teaching techniques where I can relate their daily life activities with bookish information, so this keeps them motivated. So I believe I'm not wrong to say that these days children they are more tech savvy than us in that when it comes to handling smartphones also. So when the teacher shows dynamism in his or her teaching inside the classroom and is technically also updated, then the students automatically connects with the teachers and the teacher can win their confidence. So in that way, if their daily life experiences continues to be connected with the bookish information, I believe the motivation will be higher and we can achieve higher performances results. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We also will take some of the comments that have come with us. So, Preeti, ma'am, who is teaching in probably a different part of the country, she's shared that keep the time in mind while setting question papers. Second is set the paper in a way that the average student can also attempt the paper effortlessly. And third is paper should neither be too difficult or not too easy. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing this suggestion. This is certainly what our expert teachers have also shared, that we do keep it in a mind that, even an average student can attempt the paper, and we keep a mix and match of questions which can be attempted and covered by the students within the given time frame. Uh, Going ahead, ma'am, I have the last question for you. Is with regards to that, do you think that the examination in schools are very different to what examinations happen in universities or colleges? Due to which, often when the student is going from 11 to 12 to colleges, he or she finds it a lot difficult to compete with students who have joined the college from all over India. Do you think the national level exams or the universities exams are a bit too different than school examinations? And we should probably think of implementing something similar in school level as well. Yeah. Ma'am, can you hear us?
Sorry, I cannot hear you properly. Can you please
Okay.
repeat?
Yeah, sure. So basically, my question is that, do you think the examinations taken in college and universities are way different than examination in schools, due to which a lot of students pass the school but they fail at college level? If so, do you recommend that the way the examinations are taken in college or universities should also be the same way the examinations should be conducted in schools, like the national level examinations?
Yeah, I think for the students to be more prepared for higher studies, I think the question paper type should be uh, more or less like the universities or college exams, because in that way they can be more prepared to face the higher studies.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Before ending this today's spotlight, we would want all of you to share your, some important notes that you would want to leave your fellow teachers, because we are connected with a lot of teachers from Nagaland itself and from other states. So, what is the last thought you would want to, share with your fellow teacher network? Who are connected with us and who will be watching this session later on itself. So we'll start with Sunjam ma'am. What is the message that you would want to share with your fellow teachers?
Okay, since we have discussed on the drafting of question papers, I just want to share one thought here. As a teacher, while drafting a question paper, I think we should not we should not draft the question paper in such a way that we challenge the students. Rather, we should draft it in such a way that we encourage the students to express themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a very good thought that we should always ensure that while we are sharing question papers or while we are creating them, it does not challenge them to the extent that they give up. It should always motivate them. It should always give them that area or a scope of improvement, which makes them feel that, okay, this is something I don't know, but I will want to learn it ahead. Yes,
Yeah,
Sunjam ma'am, you wanted to add something?
no, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ma'am, last thoughts from your end for all the teachers who have joined us today.
Only one question paper, if we said, will victimize the students who may fail, because one question paper may be easy for some students, but if we set another set of question, the failed students may fare better than the ones who have passed in the first question paper. So question paper sometimes victimizes some students. So I feel that even those who fail in the exams that using one question paper, I think the others also can do as much if we set another set of question paper. Therefore, I want to encourage the teachers to encourage the students as well, so that even though they fail in one exam, they can still do, or they can do better than their peers in the other exam. That is what I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. After ma'am, Kenly ma'am, who has joined some internet problem she's been having. Uh, so thank you so much, teachers, for joining us with us today. It was indeed, a thankful note. I think so. Kenly ma'am has joined. Kenly ma'am, any last thoughts before concluding this session? Any last message you would want to share with our teachers?
Just one reminder for all of us, all the teachers, including myself, in this post-COVID-19 world, let us try to motivate our learners to be creative and intellectually curious. Especially, the need of the hour is to help them evolve their flexibility in learning as well as their adaptability post-COVID-19. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Nungsan sir was also able to connect with us now. So, sir, we are just wrapping up this session. We would want to know a last message. Okay, sir's internet connection is also being a little problematic. So, anyway, thank you so much, teachers, for joining us. We indeed know the challenges that we have seen in terms of in today's session also, where we, connecting and not connecting issues have happened. But it was really appreciative of the fact that whatever thoughts and ideas you were sharing, there were a lot of thoughts and ideas that were coming on the chat section also from teachers, connected from various states, and especially from teachers of Nagaland, sharing in terms of, how do we enhance the quality of online classes, or how do we make our question papers better. So we are so thankful to all of you for connecting with us. Thank you so much, ma'am, Sunjim ma'am, and Kenli ma'am. Thank you also to Moyangla ma'am, who had joined with us, and as well as Nungsan sir, who was part of this session. We are so thankful to you that you took time out from your schedule and you could discuss on this topic. We're sure that it would be very insightful conversation for all the teachers who are connected with us. We would also request other teachers who are part of the circle that if you would want to be part of such an expert panel, do reach out to Gurushala and let us know that your interest in participating such a panel. Before ending the session, we would like to launch a Nagaland Teachers Development Plan that has been shared. So if you could see on the screen, all the teachers are able to see. I will just maximize the screen a bit. So there is a teacher development plan that we have launched for the month of February for all the teachers who are connected with Gurushala. The teacher development plan is as follows. There are 4 stages in this development plan. The development plan starts from today for all the teachers who are connected with us. You have to complete any 2 stages. So you don't have to complete all the 4 stages. You have to complete any 2 stages from the following 4 stages and then participate in the competition to be eligible at the top position. Top 30 teachers will be inducted in the Wall of Fame, and their contributions will be showcased on Gurushala and shared with all the Nagaland teachers as well. So let us see what is the first stage. The first stage is enroll and complete a course, which is to complete a socio-emotional environment for learning course. This specific course addresses the issues of the behavioral issues, the social issues that students have been having in their classroom, whether it be a virtual classroom or an offline classroom. Read through the description to understand what the course is about, and then here you can see click here to enroll and complete the course and finish on stage 1. When you click on the link, another tab will open up wherein you can see you can complete the course. My tab is already opened up. I will show you what the course is all about. Let me just share my screen again. So you can see on the screen, um, just a second. This is the course that is there, which is a socio-emotional environment for learning. So you can see there are 4 modules to the course. You can complete all the modules as per your time and as per, your schedule. You need to make sure that, these courses are completed before the end of this particular month, which is the first stage of the competition. The second stage of the competition is to write a write up on express yourself. You must have all seen our blog section, where you can share your write ups, your articles, your ideas as to how things can be better in the classroom. The same way, we will ask you to share an article which engages students on 2 to 3 topics. That is, you can talk about stress management, you can talk about how to design question papers, which we have discussed. You can also talk about different ideas that you can implement in your classroom. So, any topic you think you would want to share with other fellow teachers who can learn from your own experiences, you can go on Express Yourself section and then share an article. This is the stage 2. Here is the link. Click here to write a blog and complete stage 2. When you click, the page will open up. Stage 3 is publish content on Gurushala. As we have undertaken your trainings, we have shared how to create content. So we want you to host your content on Gurushala's platform. It can be a worksheet, it can be a PPT, it can be a PDF, it can be a document, it can be a video resource. So whatever you have created, an original, creation which you have used in your classrooms, you can even share images of the question papers that you have created, which can help teachers in implementing the same. But you should make sure that it is accessible and achievable to all the other teachers who are part of Gurushala. So that is the stage 3 that we have for you. You have to click here and upload your resource to complete stage 3. The stage 4 is to leave an idea on teachers of Nagaland teacher community. During the training, also, we got an opportunity to know so much from your schools, and especially to understand how your pedagogy has been slightly different than other teachers as well. While understanding this, we were able to keep a spotlight today where we could able to engage with teachers in different topics and themes apart from question papers as well. So to know you more and to continuously work on the ideas that you've been sharing so that we can also share it with teachers all over India through this community, what we would request at stage 4 is to join the interactive teacher community if you're not part of it already, and leave an idea. When we say leave an idea, it can be as to what new you will be doing the next academic year, or what kind of project you will be giving to your students, or it can be as simple as a question paper you have designed after this discussion, or after understanding that my question paper needs to be a little different than what it was. This is the stage 4, and the stage 5 is a competition that will be launched for everyone on 25th February, 12 noon, wherein a question paper will be designed in such that all the stage 4s, all the 4 stages will be covered. And you can then attempt the paper. Top 30 teachers who will be completing all the 2 stages out of 4, any 2 out of 4, and completing and competing on the know it all competition, they will be inducted in the wall of fame. We really hope that all the Nagaland teachers do participate in this whole process and journey, and they continue to be part of Gurushala's circle and share resources. Before going ahead and ending this conversation, I would also like to encourage you to go on staff room and leave some questions for us. The idea is that we are constantly able to help you in navigating your classroom pedagogies. So if you're facing any challenges, you can please leave a question here and we'll be able to help you out. Or you can also write to us at info@gurushala.co. We hope that we'll be continually sending you notifications about different types of sessions we'll be having, capsules, webinars, trainings will be ongoing, and we'll be connected with you. For all the teachers who are connected with us, please do fill your attendance form. Do you mark your attendance form at the end of the session? The link to the attendance form will be shared on the chat section. Also, you can check out the link to the link to the description page that is there on the video, where the attendance form, the page of Nagaland teachers will be available. We will also be sharing all these resources on the WhatsApp group. Also, there are some new WhatsApp groups that have been created where teachers can come and join and take regular updates regarding Gurushala's events. Do continuously participate. Thank you so much for participating in today's spotlight. We look forward to having another spotlight with a lot of new set of teachers and talk about different various topics. So stay tuned to gurushala.co. Do ensure that the Gurushala is also available as an application, so you can download it on your phones, and you can also share it with your students who can download it on their phones, and you can access the content on your phones. Looking forward to your engagement according to the teacher development plan. So we will sharing the links on the WhatsApp groups. Please do go and complete the plan. Top 30 teachers will be getting exciting leverage and will be inducted in Wall of Fame. That would be a great honor for all of your teachers to have. Thank you so much for participating in today's session. Thank you, teachers, for joining. Share your ideas on Gurushala staff room. Thank you so much.